Woo! What up, you dingleberries? How we doing? I don't got fluffy hair no more. I got a perm for... Oh my gosh, you got a perm, bro. What's up, guys? Sorry, we got a call from the Toyota dealership and the car that we wanted became available like 6 months earlier than we thought it would. And it was the color we wanted, like literally everything we wanted. And so we rushed over to the dealership and took care of that real quick. I'm good. Are you good? I'm good. I just hate that when I have to change the time due to personal reasons, you guys lose your shit. Like I just told you, you're not going to have dinner tonight. Like, chill, bro. Steven, one more time saying bozo is a weird word, and I'm going to ban you for being a bozo. Creator, what's up? Creator 79. Yeah, we got a new car. That's why I was late, because I was doing paperwork and shit, you know? Making adult decisions. What's up, Carter? Claudio, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Let's get some W's in chat for Claudia. Yeah, guys, we got a new car. In case you guys didn't know, we sold one of our vehicles to help fund our my short film. And so we got my wife a new car. Now that that's all taken care of, and we're not in like that financial spot anymore. So yeah, baby. Drove home in a new Corolla Cross Hybrid. Somebody was asking what car we got. This is it. My wife really wanted one of these, and so I got her that brand new, baby. Really happy with it. I have what I have. Oh, yeah, I have this. This is what I have. So this is my car. It's not a hybrid, but my wife's is a hybrid. Yeah, mine has that grill like that. But yeah, baby, making money moves over here. Now that my wife has her own vehicle, I can actually go to jiu-jitsu again, which is very nice. So jiu-jitsu content's probably gonna be coming back. I want to become a member. How do I? There's a join button, but I think you have to be on desktop to do that. I don't think you can do it on the phone right now. Hey, sorry, I have been busy with stuff. No worries, Rap Rabbit. But how's everybody else doing, huh? Have I seen the Gen V trailer? I have not. Is that out? I'll definitely have to check that out. Yo, Dan, I just realized that John Carlo goes to my boxing gym. Very cool. I'll let him know. Unless you already did. Danny, you're the GOAT? Hey, you're the GOAT. What's your favorite GFUEL? Powder-wise, raspberry iced tea. For the can, I would say Flavor Bomb. And then for the hydration bottle, I would say my favorite bottle is Sour Chug Rug. And for the powder, I am gonna go grape lemonade. Yeah. Woo! Danny, remember me from yesterday? I do, Crimson. I also remember timing you out for being a shitter. I saw you complain in the chat. Oh my god, he's late. I'm not even gonna go there, man. I am tired. I just signed a bunch of paperwork, bruh. Danny got an addiction to GFUEL so hard, bruh. I'm drinking the Grimace Shake right now. Oh, you better be careful, bro. Lock your doors. Danny, are you gonna play Payday 3 when it releases? No, I don't think so, man. I just heard that everybody's upset because it's you have to always be online for it, which kind of like ruins the game for a lot of people. So I don't know. I don't know, man. I think I'll wait for reviews and see if it's worth getting. Gummy Shark when? Bro, we just unboxed it. Chill. Do you think you're the king? I'm the king. I am the one who knocks. You can be the king, but I'm the one who knocks, alright? Say my name. Yo, Spencer Plays! Thank you for the snack pack membership, baby. Welcome. Nice. Danny's the one who knocks. That is right. Yeah, yeah, it comes out September 1st, so I am rewatching The Boys. Nice. What is your trash company, huh? I'm excited to see Deadpool 3 in 2024. That's awesome. I can't talk about movies and TV right now because we're on strike. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, man. It is... It's kind of... I'm definitely gonna make a video about it here soon because I think it's really sad that so many people don't understand like why there's a strike and why content creators who want to join those unions are choosing to follow the same guidelines. Like, dude, I don't want to be that guy who's out here promoting these companies when they're literally like refusing to just do what's right. You know, like some of these residual checks I'm seeing people post online, they're on these big shows on Netflix and stuff like Orange is the New Black, and they're getting like 27 cents, bro. While these companies are just getting literally millions of dollars, bro. What's my last name? IMDb it. Would you rather have GFUEL or star in any feature film? I don't see why I can't have both. It's almost my birthday. Nice. I almost care. I'm just kidding. Happy early birthday. Does little man actually drink GFUEL, or does he like... He drinks hydration. Do I have a Switch? Maybe you can do game reviews. I don't want to do game reviews. I've worked really hard to get out of the gaming niche, and I don't want to go back to it just because there's strikes going on. Yeah, Rice, it's nuts, bro. But B, thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate you. Thanks for supporting the stream. Seriously, next time Danny arrives on stream after a minute or sets an extended waiting time to 15 minutes or something, stop picking your noses and talking crap about Danny being late. Yeah, I had good reason, bro. It's not like I'm over here like, I don't know, drinking beers and blowing smoke up your asses when I tell you that I'm trying to take care of something and that's why I have to delay. But sometimes life hits me and I have to be an adult and take care of that first before I can hang out and chat and play video games, you know? Life is unpredictable sometimes. Say it one more time, Negative Luigi. And you're gonna be asking Chester Cheeto to sponsor your stream because you can't freaking hang out in mine. You hear me? I won't take that slander. Oh yeah, Giancarlo, it doesn't help that like you changed your name and so like it doesn't stand out the way it did before. And your profile picture is different too, so. Danny, you my favorite YouTuber. Please shout me out. Just shout out to Wild. Zimbabwe. I had GFUEL for the first time, Danny. What do you think is the best GFUEL flavor so I could try it? I mean, that's all relative. That's all personal opinion. My favorite's raspberry iced tea, but not everybody's gonna like it as much as I do. Oh, Spencer, don't ever apologize, homie. Don't ever. I don't expect anything, my friend. Take that apology. Delete that apology, bro. Thank you for supporting the stream, bro. Just watching the stream is a ton of support already. No, I haven't. I uninstalled Call of Duty, and I'm not installing it again. Not unless the new game's good, which I doubt. It's not delayed to the public. My short film is not delayed to the public, guys. I'm just not entering into any more film festivals, and I'm not promoting it because it's a SAG production right now, okay? So I won't be speaking about it directly and mentioning the name of it until the strikes are over, which is hopefully by the fall. I really hope we can come to an agreement by the fall so that film festivals and stuff aren't really that impacted, but hey man, we gotta do it, man. We gotta fight, bro. Okay, I'm texting you instead while watching the stream. All right, Giancarlo, sounds good, bro. Yo, B with the $2 super chat. Is Little Man excited for the Spider-Man 2 game? I guess so. I think he, you know how little kids are. They forget that something even exists if you don't tell them. So I don't think he's really thinking about it too much, but yeah, he was excited when I did mention it, like a couple weeks ago. Danny, I watched your stream yesterday. I want to donate. How do I? Love your channel. There's a super chat and a join button for the memberships. I appreciate you wanting to do that. Thanks for watching. Danny Grimace here. Where is Little Man at? Grimace, kiss my butt. All right, take your Grimace shake and shove it up your butt. Nah, don't do that. Don't do that. All right, Grimace, but please just leave the kids alone. John Carlos said, we still on for this weekend? Hell yeah, we are, dude. I am gonna record my movie and TV reactions. They just aren't coming out until the strike's over. So I know people are like, man, I really want to see your opinion. And I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna be promoting anything right now. Michael, thank you for the $6.99 Canadian super chat. My goodness. Oh my gosh. Danny, have you heard of Monster Jam? I think so. But Terminator, Isaac, get over it, bro. The Terminator franchise is down bad right now, all right? Benjamin, what's good? Thank you for the $1.99 super chat. I do not know you. I am Danny Dorito 23, also known as Derek Bowder, my real name. Thank you for coming to the stream. Welcome. Danny, do you play Five Nights at Freddy's? Not actively, but I have played it. What is that about, Jessica? Do I like Mario or King Boo? Who's King Boo? Hey there, nice screen. Danny, which is better? Mission Impossible? Or okay, like I said, we're not talking about movies and TV right now, man. We're on strike, dude. Actually, do you guys... Let's see here. I'm gonna find something for you guys. Oh. All right. We're gonna watch a video that explains things, okay? Because I know a lot of people have questions. Hold up a second.
What's going on, guys? So it's been a while since I've done a discussion video. The WGA and SAG are all striking right now. The DGA, the directors, they were able to work out a deal, but writers and actors are striking. Fran Drescher of the Nanny fame is president of SAG, and she made an impassioned speech about the difficulties of even trying to negotiate with Hollywood.
Kiss my butt.
This is historic for many reasons, and I'm making a video about it because I've seen a lot of misconceptions floating around the internet. Surprise, surprise. And I figured a guy wearing a Pikachu shirt should set things straight. The writers have been striking now for over 70 days.
Later, Modin.
Just to be clear, I am not yet a member of the WGA.
It's my last can of Red Ooze.
comes out, I will finally be eligible. And so I will likely become a member at that time. So I don't have any, reason necessarily to make this video other than to sort of talk about a few things, especially with SAG right now, that I've been thinking about, that I think people should understand and that should be part of the conversation. Because when the writers began to strike, I saw a lot of concerning comments spread around the internet, namely, movies suck now, so why should writers be paid? They should learn to write better, all that kind of bullshit, to be completely honest. And the truth of the matter is, movies don't suck right
Doritos
now at all.
and Cheetos.
Everyone pretty much liked Top
Hang on,
Gun
I gotta
Maverick,
change my headset battery.
Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Or John Wick Chapter 4, these are all WGA written productions. You know, I mean, just because aspects of some movies aren't great does not mean that people who work shouldn't be paid. I mean, come on, man. When people think of these guilds, whether it's the DGA, the WGA,
What's up, Shock Trooper?
SAG, they tend to think of
Thank you
like
for the
the
$2
most
super
famous
chat,
people
homie.
in them. When they think of actors, they think of Brad Pitt,
No,
or
Collide.
Keanu Reeves, George Clooney.
It's not for
Tom
kids.
Cruise, Denzel Washington. They think of these mega rich, incredibly successful celebrities.
Yeah, did you guys know that they say that like 1% of actors in SAG-AFTRA make enough money like to be full-time actors? Only 1%, bro. That's like we're talking like the 1% is like A-listers like Brad Pitt, Leonardo, all those people. There's 99% of that union who is struggling to afford health benefits because they're not paying residuals on these streaming services. They're not paying enough for them to qualify for it. That's why it's bullshit. That's why they need to. That's why we're striking. They're trying to fight for better pay so that we can actually get health insurance through the union like we're supposed to, you know? Because 1%, only 1% being able to do that is not like. I mean, I'm sure it's a higher percentage than that qualifies for the health benefits, but the people who make enough to just live off of what they make acting is only 1%, which is, that's barely anybody, man. You know?
But those are not the only people that are part of SAG. There are people right here in Ohio who are members of SAG, who do work like bartender roles, or a customer at a restaurant, or someone walking around in the background. Not everyone is SAG.
So is your mom, Emmanuel.
Non-union or
but in a good way, if you know what I mean.
But there are plenty of actors who are part of that union, and they do
Get
not
roasted,
have
bro.
a livable wage. I mean, not even close. And
Baller, baller, baller.
WGA, writers are historically undervalued. I mean, I can tell you that from personal experience.
We talking extras? Extras are a part of it, but I think extras extras have to jump through more hurdles to join SAG. But I mean, extras can work on, like, extras don't have to like audition, so they work a lot more. They're on set for like, you know, the whole day, and like, no, they don't get paid super well. They get paid like enough, you know, they get paid like it's a part-time job. But part of the stuff that's in these negotiations is that the studios want to be able to pay the background actors less, and they want to be able to scan them with AI so that they don't need to pay them anymore. That's fucked, bro. Okay, let's be honest. That's, who in their right mind would let a studio scan their likeness and then never be able to like you could be an extra for like at like Universal. Like, hey, I'm gonna go be an extra on a Fast and the Furious movie. And then they scan you, and then you go try to be an extra, and then you're like, all right, I'll be back tomorrow. And like, oh no, we don't need you anymore. We can just digitally add you to the rest of the film if we need to. Like, you know, which that's not really how extra work works, but that's what they could do if they wanted to. And then like you could go to another company and be like, hey, Disney, I want to come be an extra. And be like, oh, sorry, Universal owns your likeness, so we can't use you. It literally stops you from being able to work, bro. That's what they want to do.
I've had really a hard time getting my first film off the ground. Before Shelby Oaks, there were many other almosts that happened that I've never talked about. I have done countless rewrites on films that came really close to happening, unpaid.
I don't have any
Every
V-Bucks to
single
donate,
time.
Lionel.
I've worked for months and months and months on scripts with producers who are millionaires who wanted to get one of my
Darman
films
foreshadowed
made.
this strike?
Never saw a cent.
Okay, Greek. Look, I take this very seriously. Darman just didn't pay his actors. And that is a whole nother issue, okay? But the thing with Darman is that they don't have new media. Like, okay, social media stuff, like YouTube videos and stuff like that, that's considered new media, which is under a completely different agreement, a different section of SAG. They have their own rules. They aren't as strict about stuff. And because of that, Darman just didn't pay his actors, and there's nothing to like really force him to do it. All they could do is just complain, hey, we didn't get paid for the work we did. And that's really shitty. But I don't see how that's foreshadowing this. I think that just shows that Darman might be going under. I don't know. Do they make enough to pay the actors? Darman? I don't know. I don't have access to Darman's analytics, but I would assume so. That sounds like personal financial trouble. What we're talking about here is as a union as a whole, they're fighting for better pay and better guidelines for the actors, so that like these streaming services that created their own new set of rules can't just like be greedy and not pay anybody else like they would network television. Do the big companies have enough? We can sit here and talk about whether they have enough or not, but the point is that if they sell a show for $1 million, they're giving the actors a very, very tiny percentage of that, and they use the show for as long as they want, but the actors are getting paid like pennies on the freaking dollar, bro. It's not... that people used to do network TV and they were like set for life, because even if they stopped acting, they're getting these fat residual checks for the work that they're still using. Like if they do reruns on TV, they have to pay these actors for doing the reruns. But when it comes to streaming services, there's no guidelines for that. They have their own set of rules. The streaming services created their own rules, and streaming services have taken over the television and part of the movie space. Like a lot of film and TV is on streaming services now. Doesn't even go to theaters, nothing like that. But when you're on a set, it's no different. Everything's treated just like you're working for a studio, but they're not paying up like they're working for a studio. So yeah, dude, they could definitely make enough to cover this stuff. They don't want to share the wealth.
And was treated like trash the whole time. None of my work was respected, and I was constantly asked to do the most insane...
No, Greek, it's not just streaming services, bro. The studios have a lot to do with stuff too. There's stuff that has to do with background actors, residuals, health benefits. They want better guidelines for self-tape auditions, because back before the pandemic, if you auditioned for something, you usually went into a casting office and actually stood in front of people, and they recorded you while you read through the script and did your audition. Now you just send a video. You could take a video with your phone and send it in, but there's all these other things you have to factor in, like lighting. How does my mic sound? How does my camera look? Do I have my camera oriented the right way? All kinds of stuff that's just like... it's kind of the Wild West when it comes to self-tapes. Like each casting office can kind of make their own rules about it. They could be as strict as they want. And so what they're trying to do is trying to make it more streamlined, and they're trying to make it so where that actors who used to get paid to go do self-tape auditions in person, or used to go do auditions in person and get paid for it, might actually get, like, I might actually get paid to audition if they can come up with an agreement that works that way. Because I go to a self-tape studio, and that's a personal choice, but that's not free. That costs like $50 an audition. So if I audition 10 times in 1 week, I'm dropping $500 to go audition 10 times. If you went to a casting office back in the day and you were there longer than like 30 minutes or an hour or something like that, they were obligated to pay you like $20 or something like that for your time. So people aren't getting paid for their time anymore, and the union's like, hey, like, we're making less, and the cost of living is going up. Like, this has to change. Like, people can't... The idea of becoming an actor and making a living that way has become less and less likely over the last, like, decade, bro. As these streaming services have come up and started doing things their own way, it's been the actors and the writers, and not so much the directors, because the directors seem to always get what they want, because without the directors, there's no show. But, like, the directors aren't striking because they came up with an agreement that they thought was fair. But it's just been, it's crappy, man. And I'm really happy that we're striking, because it needs to happen. Bad timing or not, if you want to call it bad timing because of the short film and stuff like that, I honestly don't think it's going to affect it as much as you guys think. I don't think this strike is going to go on for like a year and a half or anything like that. I'm hoping that we'll have it resolved by the fall. Hopefully by January at the latest, but who knows, man? It's a lot. They're arguing about a lot of stuff, so it's actors are gonna have to start working at McDonald's to be able to. They already do that though, Sony. Like so many actors who are like serious actors, they're waiters. They work at car dealerships like Giancarlo. Like there's it's very rare for an actor to only be an actor. They either work a part-time job or multiple part-time jobs to pay to get by and pay their rent, you know? A lot of actors when they start out, they don't make much money. And like especially when you're starting out and you're not working on union projects, it could be as little as like $75 a day, bro. Like that's not enough to like what? That covers like dinner for the next 2 days and like gas money for a day or two. Like that's not, I mean, that's a whole different story. Non-union stuff's not really going to change, but the union stuff, which is the majority of work, and that's what everybody strives to work on, shit's fucked. So that's what they're trying to sort out.
Stupefying rewrites that would blow your mind. This is totally normal for writers. They go through this shit all the time. They sit there trying to figure out
Liam,
how to get a film made because they love this craft and they love movies so much. And they constantly have to deal with people who are
during the strike,
far
Jacob.
richer and far more powerful than they are to make that happen. And so they're in a constant state of placating someone who is considered better than them and
no,
who
Robert,
knows it,
copyright,
and who will use that mentality that they are powerful
I agree,
and
Andrew,
better than them to control a writer.
Oh, damn it.
Matt Damon and are absolutely was this idea of a writer and make them feel like trash, and it happened.
So Greek said, what does the union do? So the union protects the workers for you know, they make sure that the workers have fair working conditions. They're compensated for their time well. If you're on set and there's some shit going on that's not supposed to go on and violates guidelines, you call your agent or manager to go, hey, this shit is like against the rules, and the union takes care of you. And like there has to be some kind of organization to keep these companies and these sets accountable, bro. Because you go on some of these non-union sets and shit is unsafe. People aren't paid well. There's not enough food for everybody. There's so many things that happen on a non-union set that union sets make sure doesn't happen. They make sure it's safe. How does the union make money? So every year, so when you join the union, you have to pay what's called like your initiation dues. And so like depending on where you work as an actor, it's different. So like in California, it's like when you join, you have to pay like $3,600 or something. In New Mexico, I think it's like half that. But if I book something in LA, then I have to pay the difference to work there as a union actor. It's a whole fiasco thing. But anyways, when you join, you pay an initiation fee. And then every year you pay your annual dues. And that's how the union, you know, like stays afloat. And like there's people who work for the union to take care of everybody. And so those people get paid with that money. And like it's a whole ecosystem that kind of feeds into it each other and protects the industry as a whole. And so basically, the reason why I have decided to follow the same guidelines is because I want to join. And the way that you got to look at it is that if you want to be a union member and you want the union to take care of you and protect you in the future, then you got to help take care of them and protect them right now, even if you're not in it. There's plenty of people on social media who are like, I'm not joining the union. I don't plan on joining the union. So I'm going to keep doing my thing. I plan on joining the union. And that could happen in the next year or so. Who knows, man? There's no timeline. And the last thing I want to do is continue to promote these companies and have SAG go like, hey, man, like you didn't take care of us. Why should we take care of you? You know, are there shows who don't allow union people? No. Most of the shows that you've heard about that you watch are union projects. It's very, very rare that you watch something on TV or go to the theater. And I don't think it's very rare to watch a project that's not a part of the that isn't under a union agreement. It's anything that's got like a huge budget or it's got a decent budget to it is usually union. My project, $30,000 budget, a union agreement because Giancarlo's in the union. We had another actor on this project that was in the union, and so we had to file with the union so that they could work on this project, because without it, it would be considered non-union and they can't work on it. Because once you join the union, you can only work on union projects. I think there's like some actors out there who will like work under a different name to work on non-union projects, but that's a whole shady thing that like you have to, I don't know. I don't plan on doing that, but there's a lot of rules and stuff that you have to follow, and these unions are the ones that keep things safe and keep us being able to do stuff, you know? I'm leaving the stream. Oh, you're my least favorite YouTuber. Rory, say hi to your mom on the way out of the stream, all right? She's in the stream, actually. I've been talking to her. She said, I'm her favorite. She said, YouTube? Danny Dorito, my favorite. That's what she said earlier, bro.
Happens all the time, and the WGA is 100% striking for a good reason. But I think the biggest thing and the number one reason I wanted to make this video that is extremely alarming about what Hollywood was proposing to SAG and what SAG said no fucking way to was this idea of owning a background actor's.
This is the part that scares me, bro.
So in a movie,
that shit is scary.
Scene, or you need a bunch of people to fill out a room. That's
I'm 27.
Actors. In the past, they were normally referred to as extras, which is a somewhat demeaning title, and so background actor sounds a little better. These people. Who do you think you're talking to? Your shot look good.
Your mom, bro. That's who I'm talking to.
Make it seem like you're in a real space, especially in big movies.
You're gonna go get his
stores or events or a concert or something along those lines. Background actors are absolutely necessary. In some cases, it's CGI, like if it's a battlefield in Troy or the Lord of the Rings or something, but that's understandable. But according to SAG, what studios were saying was that they would like to hire a background actor for
Greek. So there's different unions for different things. So like directors of photography, camera people, and actual directors, like Ben and I, who direct our own projects. They have another union called the DGA, which is the Directors Guild of America. So that directors have their own union. They're not striking because they came up with an agreement that they were satisfied with. But the writers weren't satisfied with their agreement, and the actors were really not satisfied with theirs. And so that's why SAG, which is the Actors Union, and the WGA, which is the Writers Guild of America, are striking, is because their agreements did not meet the standards that we want. And so, yeah, there's a different union for pretty much everybody. I think stunt people are a part of SAG because they're considered actors as well. But directors have their own union. Producers have their own union. They have the PGA, which is the Producers Guild. Are you joining multiple of these unions? Yeah, I plan on joining SAG as soon as I am forced to, because they force you to join once you have like your third eligible credit. Like you have like 60 days to join at that point or something. And then I definitely want to join the Writers Guild as soon as I can't remember what makes you eligible for that, but there's no reason for me to not join as soon as I'm eligible for that one. Whereas with the Actors Union, I'm going to hold off until I have to, because I want to be able to work on non-union projects for as long as I can. There's a lot of non-union commercials and stuff that you can't work on as soon as you join the union. So holding off as long as I can, but the WGA, I'll join right away. PGA, which is the Producers Guild, if I'm eligible for that, I'll join that right away. And same thing with like the Directors Guild. If I become eligible for that at some point, I'll definitely join that as well. But the only one that I'm not going to join right away is SAG, just because I want all the opportunities I can have. I want to have all the opportunities that I possibly can for as long as I can, you know? As soon as you close that door, you can't open it again without leaving the union.
One day.
How do you become eligible? You have to work on a project that is considered of that like union status and stuff like that, or like sell it. Like Chris Stuckman, he's in production on a film that I'm a co-producer on, which is cool. So I'm this guy's co-producer for a film, but he wrote, directed, and like is a producer for this film, and so I think the script itself makes him eligible. So that's what the film festivals would be good for. Well, film festivals are to try and secure distribution or win awards for recognition. Like with the short film, like mine, there's not really any there's not a lot of opportunities for distribution with short films. There's some like streaming websites and stuff that might pick it up, but it's very unlikely. Short films pretty much never make money. Like that's not the point of short films. So dude, somebody commented the other day and they were like, bro, it sounds like all you care about is money with these festivals and stuff. I'm like, bro, it costs more money. It costs 10 times more money to make the film than it does to enter the film into festivals. And then I got to pay to enter it into festivals. If it was about money, I would not make a short film. Making a short film is a terrible way to make money. Terrible way. All right, so anybody who says it's about the money can kiss my butt. All right, both cheeks. It's the environment of acting, like environment on set.
Meaning a day rate, whatever it might be. Probably.
Hey, that's why I do it, the Kings. Thank you for sharing that, man.
Scan their likeness and then excuse them from work and not need them ever again. But then, and this is a scary part, they would own that actor's likeness forever. And they could just keep using that digital likeness of somebody.
Happy birthday, Josiah. Happy early birthday.
Movies, whenever they wanted. Not that I need an analogy for how crazy that is, but I'm going to do one anyway. I wrote about this on my Instagram already, so if you follow me there, you would have seen this. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck got their start doing background work as actors. They're in the movie Field of Dreams somewhere in the Fenway Park scene. They've talked about this a lot in interviews, how much fun they've had and how impactful that was for them. And that experience continued to lead to other background work, and eventually School Ties came around, and Saving Private Ryan and Bourne Identity and Ben Affleck's Oscar-winning career as a director and all of that.
I don't think it tastes like Kit Kat,
let's just for a second imagine that this modern-day technology
it's good. I don't care what you say. My wife and I love it.
Existed back in 1989.
Reminds me of Cocoa Puffs, but like different.
Did one day for the Fenway Park scene and then had their likenesses scanned and they signed that away forever. And then they don't come back for a second day. Kevin Costner and James Earl Jones just hang out on set with a few background actors who are actually there, knowing that the rest of it is just going to be filled out with these new scans that they've just acquired.
No,
and
Robert.
Universal, who made Field of Dreams, would now own Matt Damon and Ben Affleck's likeness forever in perpetuity. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, wow, they could really take advantage of that. Except that's actually not what I'm saying. Because I don't think Matt Damon and Ben Affleck would have actually gotten famous had this technology existed. Because they would have owned their likeness, which means that...
Danny, what will the strike affect with future movies coming out if you're allowed to answer this? I can answer stuff about the strike. I just can't promote any projects that are SAG projects like my short film, which is under a SAG agreement. So... basically what happened right now is if you're on a set that is under a SAG agreement, shut down. Nobody's filming right now on a union set unless they get a waiver, which I'm sure people are starting to get waivers now, but it takes a while. So everybody stopped as soon as the strike started, and people are just now starting to like get waivers for smaller projects. But it has to be like an independent project or under one of these really small agreements. Like if we were shooting my short film right now and they went on strike, we would have to stop and get a waiver to finish. But the thing is like anything that's like new that got cast or anything that was in talks, it all stopped. So no new seasons of TV are being filmed right now. No new movies, nothing like that. That is not considered independent, which not a lot of TV shows are. But definitely not any of the big budget movies. I can't remember what the budget level is that considers you like outside of independent, but like I think it's like anything under like, if I had to guess, it's like anything under 500K or something like that is independent or something like that. It might be less than that, it might be a little more, but basically if you have a like a lot of these streaming service shows and stuff like that, they're going to come out a lot later now. The longer this strike goes on, the longer all these new TV shows and movies that are supposed to be filming take to come out because they have to delay production. So, yeah, the longer this goes on, guys, the more of a drought we're going to have of content. So, if there's some movies or TV shows that you've been thinking about catching up, you might have time soon, because nothing new is going to be coming out after a while. They've got some stuff slated, but like I said, if the SAG strike goes on, especially the SAG strike, because they can film stuff without writers, it just might not turn out as good because they don't have the writer there to change things if they need to, you know? And so if SAG strikes for longer than the fall, it's really going to start to impact the release schedule of stuff. But as a writer, yes, these strikes have happened before, but what's different about this is the WGA and SAG have not striked together since 1960. The last time that they striked together, Ronald Reagan, the guy who became president, he was the president of the Actors Union at the time. That's how long ago it's been, bro. So who are they trying to make agree? Because I imagine there's a ton of different studios. So they have I think it's called the AMPTP, which is basically like studio execs and like big Hollywood producers that work for studios specifically. And so all these streaming services and like big studios, they all are represented by the AMPTP. And they're the ones who negotiate for the studios with the unions on behalf of all the people who make up that organization. And so, like, a lot of people have been seeing in the news, like, the big execs, like Bob Iger, who's like the head of Disney and stuff like that. They're like the main people that are like, you know, advocating for the terms that the union's not happy with. So when you see like Bob Iger say that we're being unrealistic and stuff like that with the negotiations, that dude he's so out of touch with what the issues are, man. It's not even funny, man. And like, I don't know much about it, so I won't speak too much. But I saw earlier that like Bob Iger is like preparing to sell Disney, and people are saying it might sell to Apple or something like that. That just goes to show, man, they don't give a shit about what's going on. They just care about the big picture money, you know. They just care about how much money's coming in. And what if like Disney alone doesn't agree? It's not up to any one studio, it's all the studios together. That's why there's the AMPTP, which is like an organization kind of like a union almost, but not a union. I don't think. They're just an organization that represents the studios as a whole, like that when it comes to negotiating with these unions and coming up with agreements and renewing contracts and stuff. Basically what's happened is like every year the contract just gets renewed because they're like, like it'll work for another year. But this year they were like, hey, these terms are too out of date. We need to change stuff. It's starting to be so unrealistic and so unfair that we need to update the terms to reflect the current times and situations with these streaming services. Because like I said, there's a lot of rules that apply to like network TV, like, you know, CBS, ABC, all these like network channels where you watch these shows, like FX and stuff like that. They have rules that make sure that these creators and actors and writers and all these people get paid fairly, and those rules do not apply to streaming services the same way. So if you think, oh my gosh, like this person got picked up for this huge TV show, but it's on Netflix, they're not getting paid the same as if it was a network TV show. They're not protected under the same guidelines. And so what they're trying to do is change these guidelines so that it's the same as network television, and we don't get fucked over if a show gets popular. Because basically right now, like if a show blows up on Netflix, they are not required to pay the actors extra money for it bringing people to the platform. So if a show does well and it generates $1 billion, the actors and writers and all these people, they're not getting very much of that. But if it was a network show and it blew up, they're getting fat residual checks, which they should, because it's their work that is responsible for this thing being on the network in the first place. You got to pay the people who make this shit, or else there's nobody to make this shit. It's bullshit.
that if Matt Damon and Ben Affleck
does this impact United States only, like Korea, Japan, Germany films? So there are different organizations for different countries. Like I heard that there's some actors that belong to SAG that are also a part of the union in like Canada because they have a different union. They can still work on Canadian projects, but anything that is covered under SAG-AFTRA or WGA right now, which are American unions, can't do. They're not allowed to work on those productions right now. And so without the actors, there is no production. Same thing with the directors. Without directors, no production. But when it comes to writers, they already have a script. So if they have a script, they can keep shooting. They just don't have they don't have the writer there to make changes that are best for the production in the moment. And so these directors and actors and stuff like that, they just fucking come up, and producers, they just shit out a change on the spot without knowing if it affects the whole story as a whole, which is why during writer's strikes, you get movies like Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, where it's just not up to the standards that first movie was because they didn't have the writers on set to like problem solve. How are actors being paid right now? Like, how do they determine how much they get paid? That's the big question, man, is how are these streaming services determining how much the actors get paid? They have not agreed to be transparent about the numbers. And they said that the websites that are third-party companies that do report the numbers, they go, oh, look, that this many hours were streamed. They say they aren't accurate, so we can't use them to determine how much we should get paid. So basically, these streaming services said, hey, we're not going to tell you how well the show's doing. And that website that you use to determine how well it's doing and like the whole industry uses is not accurate enough to use for residual purposes. So they're literally like, hey, we're not going to tell you. And the way that everybody else is told, we don't follow that. So it's like, hey, you can't use our numbers and we're not going to follow your numbers. So it's just going to stay that way and you get paid pennies on the dollar. And that's one of the reasons why these unions are striking, is because that is bullshit.
Wanted to continue to do background work after Field of Dreams, Universal would have been like, no, we already scanned you. We don't need you for any more work. Oh, okay. Well, there's some background work here for this production. That's Warner Brothers. Let me go over there and do some background work for this Warner Brothers movie. Oh, no, sorry. Universal actually owns your likeness. We can't work with you because...
So Andrew, so the way it was explained to me is, okay, if I go get cast on, if I go get cast as a guest star on Grey's Anatomy or one of these shows, right, on network television, I would get residual. I think the different like guest stars and series regulars and co-stars and stuff like that, they have different rates. But if I was on an episode of TV on a network television show, I would get paid. Like, I mean, I'm not making, like you said, it's not going to be like millions, but it could be like a couple $100 a year. Or like if they decide to rerun the episode, I get paid for the reruns. If I go be in a movie and then HBO goes, hey, we want to pay for the distribution rights so we can stream it on our platform, even though it's not ours. So we're going to pay the studio. $1 million to play the show on HBO, or to play the movie on HBO. I would get a residual check for that. With these streaming services, if you get a residual check for a show or a movie or something like that, it's like 10 cents or something like that. It's nothing. It's a joke, bro. It's basically like I don't want to say it's a fuck you, but it's basically like, oh, thanks, here's your penny, you know, for the work that we're still using, and subscribers are paying a monthly fee to watch. X Vento, thank you for the 99-cent super chat. And so if it was like a studio movie that got like if I was in like a Spider-Man movie, which belongs to Sony, and then Sony puts that movie or agrees to take $1 million for that movie to be on Netflix, I would get a check for that. But instead of that check being like $100, it's like 10 cents, because these streaming services, if it's their own content, they don't have to follow the same rules that studios do. Do you think the result of the strike will cause an increase in the price of these streaming services? I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna like. The thing is what people are upset about is that these studio execs are getting like $1 million bonuses when that money could be spread out to the creators and the actors and all this shit. Instead of, you know, Bob Iger being able to buy a third super yacht, pay the actors, pay the writers, pay the producers, pay the people who are responsible for that show being a thing, you know? But I don't know. It's just one of those things, man. Until somebody polices that shit, they're going to keep doing it. And so that's what these strikes are for, because it's time to change things. Can't be doing that anymore. Can't be buying super yachts with the money that should be going to the creators, man.
Because your likeness has been signed away to Universal. Oh, so like, what do I do? Did I just like do a day
Louis?
on Field of Dreams and I'm never going to work again? There are so many loopholes to what I just said that you could fill it with so much shit. It's insane how terrifying that notion is. And that would probably lead to Damon and Affleck never having made Good Will Hunting, Robin Williams never getting a Best Supporting Actor win, no Bourne Identity, nothing that Affleck ever did in the future, none of that would probably have happened because their careers would have ended right then because they signed their likeness away in a second to some studio that doesn't give a shit about them. I can't believe that an actor would be degraded to that level.
I can't either unless it's not
These are
needed.
people who make movies happen. Writers are just as important, in fact, more important. Without a writer, you don't have a movie. Writers, directors, actors, and especially crew are the people who get these movies made. All of these mega rich people who are sort of just profiting from the fact that other people are working very hard for them are terrified of losing like 2% of their money.
No, he always wears really cool shirts. He's got some really cool movie tattoos as well.
One day, a very good comedy released by a very brave studio
I think he's got
will be made
a
about
Nickelodeon tattoo right there.
I think it's really easy to look at these strikes from a surface level and just think, well, SAG is just mega famous people, right? Like Angelina Jolie or whatever. And no, it's not. It's every...
That's the other thing that sucks is that people are like, oh, why do the actors need to get paid more? Doesn't Brad Pitt make enough money? Yeah, Brad Pitt makes enough money, but it's the other 99% of the union who's not making enough money. And so that's why Brad Pitt, I don't know if you guys saw like the Oppenheimer premiere, the Barbie premiere, the actors left in solidarity because they're like, hey, we got to go help fight for these actors who don't have the opportunity that we have yet. Not everybody is freaking Brad Pitt, man. Everybody's got to start somewhere. And so the less and less that these actors are getting paid, the less likely it is that they'll stick around and join the union and all, you know what I mean? Like, or it's a lot less likely that they'll keep acting because they're like, I don't make enough money. I have to, why am I going to go try and do something that I love for free, basically, when it's not gonna, it doesn't qualify me for health insurance. It doesn't pay the bills. Like, this stuff is done out of passion, but come on, dude. After 10 years of working as an actor, like, you've paid your dues. And instead, these studios are taking the money that they should be getting paid and they're going on vacations on their super yachts and buying another company and doing a bunch of other shit. While these people who make these projects that are making them money are having to get second and third jobs because they can't afford health insurance. Like, it's really sad, man. But, you know, again, that's why these strikes are happening. And that's why I'm standing with them, because someday I would like to join these unions, and we are the future. Like, of course, you know, please just stop cursing. Rory, shut the fuck up. All right? I'm trying to be serious right now, and you're being a little whiny baby. If you don't want to watch the stream, you can't handle a couple cuss words, go watch Coco Melon, all right? Get out of here, all right? Don't make me tell your mom about this, all right?
Everyday working people who love their art and love their craft, who just can't get ahead in this industry. And it's...
like I said, especially with the short film, it's not about money, okay? But if I'm going to go work for a company and they're going to say, hey, make this project for us or act in this project for us, I have to do what they say. It's not going to be like me on my short film. It's actual work. You know what I mean? Like, not that my short film wasn't work. It was definitely a lot of work. But when it comes to these studio projects and stuff, like, you got to get paid fairly. You know, it's work. Do you think everybody wants to work on the project that they're a part of? No. You know what I mean? Like, not everything is going to be a passion project. And so, like, you know, honest man's work earns an honest man's dollar. Exactly, Andrew. And right now, it doesn't feel like we're earning it. It doesn't feel like those people are earning an honest dollar. You know. So basically, they're taking away money. Basically, they're taking away money that we don't even know exists because we can't. They won't show us the numbers, and they won't pay a fair percentage of it to the people like the networks do. So a lot of it is the streaming services, Greek, but there's also the AI stuff, which is really scary. And then the other thing is like these writers, like I said, they can work without the writers. And so I feel like SAG standing with the writers and striking is good it's good for both unions. They're standing together and standing up to these streaming services and saying, hey, the fuck, bro? Like, pay me for my time like the networks do, you know, because this is the future. This is we're not network television isn't the king of television anymore. It's streaming services. And so yeah, AI writing scripts, Greek, like there is nothing right now stopping there's nothing, Greek, stopping a writer from being fired and just having like AI rewrite the script. And then now they don't get that writing credit. Like there's nothing to stop it, bro. And so that's why they're like, hey, I don't want that to happen. Let's make sure that can't be a thing. Same thing with the AI and the background actors. They literally said we want to be able to scan the background actor and then use them in any movie we want and never have to pay them. We own their image. And I don't think I need to explain to you why that's wrong. That's scary. Like once that door opens, who knows what else happens with AI, bro? You know what I mean? Like once you open that door, you can't close it, man. And so they want to keep that door closed.
Same with writers. I mean, not every writer is Aaron Sorkin. There's tons of people who are just struggling to get anything.
Yeah, all these things that I'm writing, I don't get paid for that because I'm not in the union and it's not a studio project. But like AI writing scripts from scratch or only rewriting. They can write from scratch too, and then like they probably need some people to look over it. But it's the like finishing scripts or rewriting them, stuff like that. If AI is doing that and it's not a real writer, like what do they? I don't. It's like if the AI gets good enough at writing scripts in the future, which I'm sure it will. What's to stop them from just not hiring writers? You know. So it's like, bro, we gotta protect the human aspect of this business, man, because it'll go like there is not a lot of writers in the union. Like I can't remember the number. It's okay, maybe it's not that there's not a lot of writers in the union. There's not a lot of writers in the union that actually make money every year. Like they report, I think it was like 2,000 last year, writers in the union who actually got a paycheck. And that number will go down if AI is allowed to start doing shit. You know what I mean? Like it's right now, writers get paid for outlines. They get paid for script treatments. They get paid for all kinds of stuff. And if AI starts taking over that stuff, why would the studios pay for it anymore? You know? I don't know, man. It's really
who can barely afford
it's scary,
to make a
man.
living in Los Angeles or New York. This is why the cast of Oppenheimer left the premiere in solidarity with SAG, because all of them were starting actors once too. They all know what it feels like to be a struggling actor. Not a single one of them was just birthed into being famous and incredibly talented. And so this is what we're dealing with. And I really would love if more people understood that. I mean, you have to understand that former strikes are why writers have.
Look at those signs, dude.
Why certain things that we look at.
They striked in like a lot of the early strikes. It was to get health benefits and to get residual checks and stuff like that. Because until then, if there's no rules, it's the Wild West. Wouldn't AI be unable to make original scripts? No, not necessarily, Greek. As AI gets better, it's able to do more things. I've seen some AI generated scripts and they have a lot of errors and stuff like that, but as far as like story structure goes and stuff like that, they know how to write a script with a beginning, middle, and end. They know how to write acts and stuff like that. It might not make a whole lot of sense, but yeah, that's cool. You're 10 hours late, Cinnamon Roll. Do you even know what day it is, bro? Hey. Chris Duxman's video about the strikes and why they matter.
Normal now It's because somebody back in the day didn't get paid for a long fucking time on a strike. And that's exactly what this strike is going to do for writers and actors. At some point in the future, 30 years from now, there's going to be a very normal thing that everyone has because of these strikes. It might not seem that way now. It might seem...
How do you write scripts? Like it's kind of like a poem? There's a structure to it. There's ways to write dialogue and like action and like special shots, like inserts and scene headings that establish what location the scene takes place in. There's a lot of stuff, transitions, things like that. It's all formatting stuff. It's honestly not that, like, that was like the easiest part of screenwriting for me, was learning how to format the script. It's what makes a script read well. That's the hard thing, and that's what AI can't do yet. But I stress the word yet, because you guys got to realize every time this AI does something, it's learning. It's learning how to get better. And so if we let the AI take over any of these jobs, they'll replace the job completely at some point. And we got to stop that from happening, because if it happens, the dream of becoming a writer for a big studio will become less and less likely, and maybe not even exist someday. So the only way that we can make the studios agree to terms like that is if we literally refuse to work and stop the money from coming in. So there's people who are putting their family's financial situation at risk to fight for future workers' rights. That's literally what a strike is. I saw some people on TikTok saying unions are stupid. There's a lot of argument for and against unions, but look at the video gaming industry. They're trying so hard to unionize at some of these studios, but the studios just shut down the strike. They won't let people join the strike. Things like that. Because they know as soon as they form a union, they can't do whatever the fuck they want anymore. So I think unions are a good thing, but I'm not going to get into like the political aspect of it. We have a union, so it doesn't matter what I think. That's the world we live in. We have an actors a writers, a producers, directors union. You know, like that's just that's how it works. So of course, you know, like my choices are stand in solidarity or face the reality that like me continuing to work and promote films and TV could result in them saying, no, you can't join because you were not supporting us when we needed you. Why should we support you when you need us, basically? So when people say that it's bullshit, that like I don't get paid, I'm not in the union, why do I have to do it? It's because I want to join someday and I want their protection. I can't have the it sounds like the mob when you talk about it that way, but like you got to stand together, man.
Seem like it's taking a while now, but in the future, the people who are reaping the benefits
strikes don't happen that often.
Be very happy that this strike is happening. Those are my thoughts on all this craziness. Nobody on either side wants a strike to happen. I don't think.
Yeah, no, like
what has
we don't
to happen.
Like nobody wanted to have to shut down productions. If they would just agree to terms that were fair, we could have avoided this whole thing. But it's the studios who don't want to. They don't want to fork over more of their money. $3,800 is a big number, though. How are small actors affording that? Well, Greek, you got to understand, if you book 3 union projects, I think like the weekly rate is like $2,300 or so. It depends on the size of the project. You get paid more the bigger the project is, and how much the more money the project has. And so if you're working on big projects that have big money, you can figure out how to afford your initiation fee, or don't join and then just never make good money. I mean, that's totally your choice, but I would like to get paid well to do what I love to do someday, and the only way I'm going to do that is if I join the unions at some point. And so yeah, I'm following the same rules that the union members are, because I want to be treated like a union member in the future, because I want to be one. Michael, thank you for the snack pack membership, baby. Doritos suck! Did I go to college for film? No. You don't have to go to college for film to work in the union.
It has to happen. Writers and actors need to be
Clips right now.
But even beyond that,
Clips, you can literally say, hey, write a script like Like, you could be like, hey, here's 3 scripts. Write me a script about this that is like these 3 scripts that I just showed the AI. And the AI will take that information and just shit out a script in like a minute that is very similar and written similar to those scripts. So you could basically like manipulate it into doing what you want. So what's to stop these studios from doing that, bro? They could be like, oh, we just fired Aaron Sorkin. Aaron Sorkin wrote The Social Network and all these big Hollywood movies like Moneyball and shit like that. Just write us a script like that, AI, and it'll shit it out in 1 minute, and nobody had to pay for that. Do you think the movies are going to be better or worse, though? That's the question. If you want good movies and TV, you want these strikes to go well, bro. You want them to get what they need and what they think is fair. Because without it, nobody's going to put that passion into their work because they're not getting treated right.
They have to be respected. All the new tools
Gotta be
AI
respected,
has
bro.
created can in some ways be extremely useful. But just like anything that we ever create, we always abuse it somehow. And that's the really scary part. So we have to be very careful and lines have to be drawn. So, you know, that's all I got to say about this shit. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching. Look forward to more videos very soon. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.
Highly recommend you subscribe to Chris Stuckman if you aren't. I love this guy. I mean, I literally, like, I became a producer for his film that he mentioned. I'm not going to talk about it because I'm sure it's a SAG project. It has to be. It's got like over $1 million budget. But this guy literally, like, Chris Stuckman, this dude right here is the reason why I'm here, guys. I watched this guy I watched this guy become a content creator and put himself through film school so that he could chase the same dream that I am. And so without him and without him seeing his being inspired by him, I wouldn't be here. Is this guy the one you interviewed on Zoom? No, that was a different director. There's like one new Netflix show or movie every 6 months nowadays that catches my eye. Yeah, I agree. It'll be less and less if AI takes over writing and shit. Dude, I'm telling you, bro. I mean, I'm glad SAG-AFTRA and WGA are on strike, so we get what we deserve. Yeah, no, and not only that, you got to think, guys, if the unions allow AI to start being used in a creative capacity, think about the other things that AI is going to be used for. You know, other industries other than the entertainment industry will start to replace jobs with AI. I mean, it's already happening. I've seen dude, I've literally seen I've seen people who are like, yo, I day trade stocks. I don't have to even do that anymore. Now I have an AI that buys and sells shit for me while I go on vacation. That's cool, man. More power to you. But that's not a creative job. And the creative jobs are going to be a lot more affected by it because it loses that human touch. And artificial intelligence doesn't know what it's like to grow up and have your parents get divorced and then write about that experience. They're writing about it from what they can find on the internet. It's just not the same, man. Do you think an AI is going to understand what it's like to lose a loved one and then like create a story around it that feels like a human experience and connects to you on a human level? Maybe someday, but not yet. You know? Thank you for the $2 super chat. Les Dono and can you watch Attack on Titan? I can still watch Attack on Titan because that is not I don't think Attack on Titan has anything to do with SAG or anything like that. So I don't see why I can't do that. But why did you put your voice like that? When am I going to Dallas, Texas? I don't know. No plans yet. Maybe if the strike ends, we have a film festival there. Maybe I'll go. But yeah, guys, please, I cannot stress enough. Talk about this with your family members and your friends. I think the more people that are aware about why this shit's happening, the more likely the studios are to agree to the terms and be like, okay, we hear the public, we hear the outrage, we got to give in because we ain't gonna have productions without it. Are you gonna be not visiting the theaters as frequently? I am still, as a consumer, gonna be watching movies and TV and going to the movies. And I will be recording reactions. I just won't be posting them until the strike's over. So once the strikes end, there's going to be a huge flood. I would expect like a reaction every day at least. Right now it's like every other day, or it was every other day. But yeah, guys, we gotta fight for this shit. We gotta stand up. Like I said, people make fun of me because I'm not actually in the unions yet, but it affects my future, and it's very serious. It's a serious matter to me. No, Michael, I can't, man. Just like the actors who left the premiere because they wanted to stand in solidarity, I am choosing to not promote any of these projects until they can come up with an agreement and I can feel like the studios are treating people fairly. Until then, I will not be giving them attention. Danny, what's the best Kit Kat flavor? OG Kit Kat, bro. It's gotta be the OG Kit Kat. But guys, thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I know that talking about this stuff isn't exactly the most fun, but I feel like it's my duty as a content creator to help shed light on this because this is what I want to do for a living. And like I said, without these strikes, someday when I am in the union, I might get fucked over. And so we're trying to stop that from happening to... They're trying to stop that from happening to people. They're trying to protect people who do this stuff for a living and make it still be something that seems obtainable and realistic for people who want to do stuff like that, like I do. So thank you guys for listening to me talk about that. And I'll see you tomorrow for the first part of our Dark Pictures Anthologies games. We're going to start playing some horror games that feel like movies. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Use GFUEL code DANNYD. And we on strike, baby. Stand in solidarity. Spread the word, all right? Thank you for watching, Carter. I'm glad I was able to help educate people on the matter, and hopefully people take it more seriously, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, this is so stupid. Why can't we just make TV shows? I want to watch season 3 of my favorite show. People make those shows, and they work really hard, and they deserve to be paid fairly for it. And have health insurance. Jesus Christ. The fact that we even have to fight to just have the ability to go to the hospital and not get financially ruined by it is a whole nother issue. But again, thank you guys for watching. I love you. Stay safe. And I'll see you tomorrow, baby. Use GFUEL code DANNYD. All right? Yeah, baby. Take care. See you tomorrow.